Welcome to Social Work Updates.
In this video we are going to talk about the steps in social work helping process. The social work helping process consists of the following sequential steps which are followed when working with any type of client system, for example, individual, family, small group, and community. The following steps are assessment, planning, intervention or plan implementation, evaluation, and termination. Let's talk about the first part of helping process. What is assessment? According to Max Cyperin, assessment is a process and a product of understanding on which action is based. The process involves the collection of necessary information and analysis and interpretation in order to reach an understanding of the client, the problem and the social context in which it costs. It should be emphasized that the ultimate purpose of assessment is to provide understanding necessary for appropriate planning. Thus, the major social work tasks involved during this stage are information or data gathering and problem definition based on an agreement between the client and the worker as to problem to be worked on or simply the problem for work. In information or data gathering, a variety of sources are available from which to obtain the information necessary in order to have an accurate definition of the client's problem. We have the primary source. The client is the primary source of information. Whether the client is an individual or a community, what he is, how he feels and behaves is our main concern. Thus, we interview individuals, alone or in groups, to obtain data, starting with the intake procedures. Another source of the information is the secondary source, composed of the significant others in the life of the client are important sources. In the case of individuals, this means those with whom he has personal relationship like parents, siblings, relatives and friends. This can extend to others with whom he relates like people in his school, employment, church, and organization. In the case of communities, this may be the staff of community agencies, consultants previously involved in the community. The third source of information is the existing data. A social worker may use information previously collected by others, such as record and reports from other professionals, such as physicians, teachers, and social workers of others, studies and evaluations. How reliable these data are and how competent and objective are those who prepared them should be carefully considered. And last source of information is the worker's own observation. The worker often has the opportunity to observe the individual's client, alone, or in interactions with others. In work with therapeutic groups, the worker usually makes a client's membership in a group temporary for at least a couple meeting to allow her observe the individuals as he interacts with the other member. The observation can be extremely helpful to the community social worker. Her observations about the community physical conditions, the presence or absence of basic amenities, facilities, and resources, the person-to-person and group-to-group interactions are important to problem definitions. Maria O'Neill McMahon introduced the three components in writing assessment statement. Number 1 is the opening casual statement. This requires the worker to clearly indicate who has the problem and why the problem exists at this time. The why can consist of an immediate causal factor, which may have resulted from series of factors. Number 2 is change potential statement. A problem's change potential is dependent on three interdependent factors: the problem, person, and environment. The factors have direct impact on the maintenance or resolution of the problem. And lastly is judgment about the seriousness or urgency of the problem, based on the available data. The worker should be able to answer this question, such as to what extent is this a life or death matter for the person concerned. Life-endangering situations require the worker's immediate attention even if in her judgment the change potential for the problem is very low. And to discuss about the next part of social work helping process, the planning, please watch the next part of the video. Thanks for watching. For more social work updates, visit my YouTube page, hit the bell and subscribe.